Shoshin is a word from Zen Buddhism that means beginner's mind. In its simplest form, it's about being open-minded and having a lack of preconceptions. Literally looking at the world as a beginner would. Shoshin allows us to approach life with a childlike curiosity. What does that do? What happens if I press that button, and if I press it again, does the same thing happen? Marcel Proust said, "The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new lands, but in seeing with new eyes." And that sums up the beginner's mind perfectly. We've all got preconceptions, it's part of life, but every now and again it's useful to take a look at what ours are and to ask ourselves, are they still valid? Shoshin is about forgetting everything that you know, just for a few moments, and then looking at the world with childlike wonder. And there's a lot of benefits to this. The beginner's mind builds better relationships. It allows us to see people as they really are, not who we think they are, because people change over time. You're into personal development, you know that's true. For some of you, there was a time when you used to get wound up or frustrated by little things, insignificant things, and things that you now know were just not worth the stress. And now you're much calmer, more relaxed, and you approach life in a much more chilled way. What would it be like if people still treated you like you were still that old person, expecting you to react to everything, treating you with kid gloves in case they upset you? That'd be pretty limiting for you, and you might even want to shake them by the neck and say, "I'm not that person anymore." And Shoshin is about showing that level of respect to others. Just because somebody acted in a certain way yesterday, it doesn't mean that they'll act in that way today. They could have grown as a person. Don't be an expert in other people's lives, be a beginner. Be open to seeing who they are today and responding accordingly. You'll find that this simple act creates really deep level rapport, and deep rapport builds better relationships every single time. Shoshin allows us to drop preconceptions. In order to learn, we need to forget everything that we thought that we already know. There's a fantastic line in a film, I think it may have been The Karate Kid, and in a moment of frustration, Mr. Miyagi turns to Danny and he says, "How can you ever expect to learn anything when you already know everything?" I've had several times in my life where something that I held at a deep level to be true and probably would have defended vigorously suddenly turned out not to be true, and it's like a light coming on. If you've never experienced that yet, then I'm truly excited for you when you do, because it's a really liberating experience. And if you have experienced this before, then you already know how powerful it is, and the real question becomes, how can I make this happen more often? Notice the words that I use here. How can I make this happen more often? Shoshin is not something that we have or we don't have. It's like a positive attitude. It's something that improves the more that we practice it. So I'm going to throw this open to you now. How do you, or how can you, practice this attitude of having a beginner's mind? Post your comments below. Let's share some ideas, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video about some of your suggestions with some of my thoughts as well. Let me leave you with the words that I started with from Shunryu Suzuki, who probably summed this up the best. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few.